Hello everybody, and welcome to my next video. This would be the fireplace for my Jeep. We're going to see how this works out. But I want to give you an idea of what it is first. This is the Ignik Firecan fire pit. The reason I bought this was just for that, a portable fire pit. It was great. I bought this 2 years ago when I was on the road doing the concert tours. There would be times when we might be 15, 20, 25, 30 trucks. We're all parked up. A few of us would get together and have a few drinks. I don't drink, so I wasn't contributing to that fund, but I could contribute to the ambiance. So I bought the fire pit. I paid just under $200 for it at REI. I used my credits that you get for purchases. You get 10% as a discount because it is a co-op. So you join the co-op for 10 bucks, they give you a $20 coupon for joining, so that's a scam, but you do get a discount. I don't buy a lot there, but I did buy quite a bit my first year getting into backpacking. So I used those credits and covered most of the cost of this. It weighs, this is stout, it weighs about 11 pounds, 3 ounces to be exact. It's not light, it's sturdy, it's tough. I'm impressed with the build. The legs collapse to make it a little easier to store. If you can't notice from here, it is a little bit bigger than your average ammo can, but not by much. But it opens with the same principle. Let's take a look at what's outside and then what's inside. You do have the quick release for your propane. That's a neat little feature. Again, the foldable legs. I like the two-tone colors, although I have seen it in stainless. It's vented both back and front. A little carrying handle on the side here, both sides. It swings open, then the lid lifts off entirely. Now inside you have your typical, like you would a barbecue grill, you have your gas venturi layout. But you'll notice with these, I'm not sure if those are stainless. There's some stainless in here, but these are pretty thick. They're pretty durable. They're not the chintzy crap you get in a barbecue pit. These will take some abuse. I'm rather impressed with them. A couple of quick questions that I've noticed going through the threads on both REI and a couple of other sites and reviews. First off, the company that manufactures this shows up and answers a lot of those questions, not complaints, just questions. One of the questions is, you cook on it. Can you cook on it? They say no. But I have read reviews of people who have tried it. It's very slow. I wouldn't want to drip my barbecue steak in here. There's nothing below it to catch it. It's not made to do that. But I suppose you could put a grill and a pan on top of this and heat on it. This is reportedly putting out on high 38,000 BTUs. That is a lot of heat. They say it will run 4 hours on one tank, but they don't mention how big the tank is, so that's interesting. I do know, doing my homework, 1 pound of propane contains about 23,000, give or take, 2,300 BTUs. So 38,000 is a lot. So I suppose on high, if it'll go 4.5 hours, that's got to be like a pretty good size, maybe an 8 or 10 pound can. It's just, I'm not sure if those numbers make sense to me. And there were a few other numbers in there that I wasn't quite sure if they had squared out. But this will on high put out a flame close to the top of this. I wouldn't want it running that high on my fine plastic Jeep roof. But it does say burn time maximum is 12 hours. I would assume that is on low. But it'll blow through that fuel pretty easy. The other question everybody asks, will it run on a propane tank, a little 1 pound? They say no. And I think I know the reason they say no, and we're going to talk about that. I run it on those. So, quick disconnect, that's kind of neat. It's tough, it's durable. Leak proof, I hope. So we'll snap that on the back. I'm going to get this a little closer. We can see what we're doing. See if you can see it from there. I have added, you can get just a valve that will go from the tank to the regulator. 5-foot hose on that regulator. So that's kind of nice. A little inconvenient in the Jeep because I don't have that much room, but it's cool. But if you just go from the tank to the regulator without a shutoff valve, this regulator is going to think you have a leak and it's going to shut off and you're not going to be able to fire up the pit. So I bought one with just this little ball check valve, and the key is to open it very slowly. The reason for that is if you just pop it open, it pops this valve because the valve thinks it's leaking, and then your fire pit doesn't work, just like a barbecue. This is the same regulator you would have on your barbecue grill. Let's see how this looks. I'm just going to set that there. Put my mic back. I've got this on high just to show you what it'll do. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. I'm out here in the direct sun, and that is all the way up over the top. And you can regulate it down. You can regulate it way down. As you can see, we have a little bit of a breeze going. But look at that. That's still putting out a fair amount of heat. That is an open flame. I would never sleep with this product running in my vehicle. But I would use it for a source of heat while I'm awake. My goal is always to heat the vehicle while I'm in it, while I'm having a meal, enjoying the sights, reading, jonesing on the internet, watching a movie, whatever the case may be. If it's cold outside, I want to be warm in the vehicle. When I go to bed, I want everything off, other than possibly the Chinese diesel heater, which I may put one in there, we'll see. There's no source of heat I would run at night while I'm sleeping. Certainly nothing with open flame. The quarters are way too close. But this has been the cat's ass while I've been out on tour, using it just as a central gathering point, as a place to warm our hands. I haven't allowed anybody to cook food on it. Believe me, they've asked. The only downside I've had with it is, since I'm the guy that doesn't drink, I'm usually the first one to leave the party. And I take my fire pit with me because I'm going to come back and find it covered in grease and somebody cooked steaks on it. But I have had a lot of fun with this. Will it work to heat the vehicle? We'll see. Is it worth the $200? I think that's a relative question, because $200 is easier for some people to come up with than others. I'll tell you, we are going to enjoy this at our campground for sure. Now, one of the things that may come up, I bought these at the home improvement store at Menards. They're thermal pan. They're made for heat vents as an insulation and reflectic. But all I'm trying to do is just add a little extra layer of protection off of the carpet and the floor and off of the side walls. The heat from this comes straight up. I say from this because it's down below me. I will tell you this is substantial because it's still quite warm from shutting it off, and I'm in high 20s with a little bit of a breeze. So anything in here sits on that. When I cook on my Sterno stove, it sits on that. My butane stove sits on that. One of the downsides I see of this in a vehicle is at the end of the night, I want this off, easy enough, and I want the valve off easy enough. But I don't know if I'm comfortable knowing that nothing trapped between here and here is going to leak. So when I unscrew that, the compressed gas vents just, I believe, from the regulator to here. I think the hose is still pressurized, but that's still, I can still see the vapors coming out of that. That is a lot of gas to release in a very closed space. So I would have to open the hatch, come outside to disconnect that. So I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work, but I am going to give it a try. And then again, with this off, when you take this valve off, which I would need to store it in here, I can store everything in the can, but that has to come off. And there again, you release more gas here, but that I'm not afraid of leaving, just venting that hose. The other thing the manufacturer mentions, and I don't have my instructions for this anymore. As I say, I've owned this a little over 2 years. The other thing the manufacturer answers is, does it come with a diffuser? In other words, some sort of cover that would dissipate the heat into the sides. And the answer is no, it does not. Apparently there were some older models that did. They decided it was unsafe because it pushed too much heat out the sides, and they didn't like that, so they stopped putting the diffuser in. They did say you could add some barbecue stones or barbecue glass, marble, whatever the case may be, and put that in the bottom, and you could actually cover even the actual gas burner itself, and the gas would come up and burn. They said you could do that. That would store more heat in the bottom of it, so when you shut it off, it will dissipate heat a little bit longer, but I'm not too worried about that. I have tried it with these. These are glass, just decorative. You can see they're kind of stained a little bit from being burned a few times. But you know what? This probably weighs 4 pounds, and that's not all of them. They're like a 20-pound or 10-pound jar that we bought them in. So I will not use these. I don't need these. They're nice. They add some ambiance if you're having it outdoors for a fire pit. I'm not going to toss them, but as far as using this on a camping trip, on a backpacking trip, well, I wouldn't take it backpacking. It weighs 11 pounds. Scratch that. On a camping trip, I will not take, I may take these, I don't know, they take up room and they're just ambiance. I'm after the flame. The heat is designed to come out through the top. I suppose if you put a little grill over the top, it might take a long time to boil your water, but you could keep your coffee warm or something on that. I don't know. It's not something I intend to use it for. It's just been a portable bonfire for the last 2 years. Now it will take on some new meaning. We will definitely use it, my wife and I, at the campground where we have our seasonal spot, which we can't get into till April. So we've still got a month and a half to go. But I'm going to test it to see if I can use it as a morning and evening heater in the Jeep, and we'll see how that goes. So look forward to that next week, because I promise you next week will be my overnight adventure. I found a great little place for stealth parking. We'll see what you think. With that, let me know, is that overpriced? It is tough. It is durable. Most of them are made in China. It does say in the replies from the manufacturer that you might find this because it's their design and it's manufactured at different plants at different times. You might find it coming from different countries, not always China. Interesting comment to make. Let me know what you think in the comments. And guys, if you like what I'm putting out, please, please, please hit the subscribe. YouTube grades me on hours watched and subscribers, and nobody subscribes to anything anymore, and that is the key to my being able to be successful on this. And the more successful I am at this, the more I have a chance at, I'll be brutally honest, monetizing the channel and using that money for some longer adventures and doing more things. So I love sharing what I'm doing close to home. If I want to venture out farther than home, I need some success on the channel. So shoot me some ideas, tell me what you'd like to see, what you think, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.